They broke your trust. They shattered your heart. The world made you feel like the only way to survive is to turn cold, to stop caring, to stop loving. But here's the truth. Coldness is not strength. Strength is when you take your pain and rise above it. Strength is when you let your scars tell a story of survival, not bitterness. This is why pain was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to make you stronger. You can spend minutes, hours, days, weeks, or even months over analyzing a situation, trying to put the pieces together, justifying what would have happened, or you can just leave the pieces on the floor and move on. This quote captures one of the deepest truths about pain. It's not what happens to us that destroys us. It's how long we keep replaying it in our minds. Think about it. Most of the suffering we carry doesn't come from the moment we were hurt, but from the endless cycle of thinking, questioning, and doubting ourselves afterward. We sit in the dark corner of our memories, trying to figure out why it happened, what we could have done differently, or why people we trusted broke us. But strength doesn't come from solving the puzzle of the past. It comes from choosing to put down the pieces and walk forward. If you look at the life of the man behind this quote, you see someone who endured loss, betrayal, and constant battles with the world around him. He grew up without stability, surrounded by violence, and often misunderstood by society. Yet instead of being chained by the pain, he used it as fuel. He didn't spend his life replaying what was unfair. He transformed that pain into music, poetry, and words that still inspire millions today. That's the power of refusing to let pain become a prison. We've all been there, left broken by a relationship, abandoned by people we thought would stay, or crushed by opportunities that slipped away. It feels natural to ask, why me? But staying in that question only makes the wound deeper. Imagine cutting yourself, then every day opening that wound again just to check how bad it is. That's what overthinking does. It keeps the pain alive long after the moment has passed. Real healing begins when we make the decision to stop reliving the past and start rebuilding the future. For today's generation, this message is more important than ever. Social media makes it easy to get stuck in comparison, constantly analyzing why someone else's life looks happier, why they moved on faster, or why we're the ones hurting. But that cycle doesn't heal. It steals our time, our energy, and our peace. Emotional maturity comes when you say, yes, I've been hurt, but I won't let it define me. I won't let my story end here. So how can you apply this lesson to your own life? Start with acceptance. Accept that some people will hurt you and never apologize. Accept that some situations will never make sense. Then shift your focus to growth. Instead of asking, why did this happen to me? Ask, what can I learn from this? That small change in mindset turns pain into power. Maybe someone betrayed your trust. Now you've learned the value of loyalty and the importance of protecting your heart. Maybe you failed at something you worked hard for. Now you've gained wisdom that will make you stronger the next time. Every pain carries a seed of growth, but only if you stop holding on to the broken pieces and choose to plant them into something new. Remember, pain isn't meant to make you colder. It's meant to make you wiser. It's not about building walls so no one can hurt you again. It's about building strength. So even if they try, you'll still rise. You are more than your heartbreak, more than your failures, more than your wounds. Pain is temporary, but the strength it creates is forever. During your life, never stop dreaming. No one can take away your dreams. Or dreams are not just ideas you think of when your eyes are closed. They are visions that keep your soul alive when the world tries to break you. Life has a way of throwing obstacles at us. Pain, betrayal, loss, and struggle. But the truth is, those same struggles are the very fuel that can drive our dreams forward if we don't let them die. This quote reminds us that no matter what we go through, our dreams are something nobody can steal. Pain can test you, life can shake you, but only you decide if your dream continues to live. Think about it. So many times in life, people face setbacks and begin to believe their dreams aren't possible anymore. Maybe you've been told you weren't good enough. Maybe you lost someone who believed in you. Maybe you failed at something you thought was your destiny. That pain can either make you close your heart and give up, or it can push you to rise and fight harder. That's the choice, colder or stronger. When we look at the life behind this quote, it wasn't spoken from a place of comfort. It was spoken by someone who grew up surrounded by hardship, violence, and instability. Someone who faced poverty, who had nights of hunger, and who dealt with a system designed to hold him back. Yet, through all that pain, he never stopped dreaming. He dreamed of using his voice to reach millions. He dreamed of leaving a legacy through music, poetry, and truth. Every obstacle could have turned him bitter, could have made him give up, but instead, his pain became the fire that lit his path. This lesson is timeless. Today's generation is facing its own battles, social pressure, toxic relationships, broken families, financial struggles, and a world that often feels like it's against us. It's easy to become cold, to shut down emotionally, and to stop believing in a better tomorrow. But that's exactly what this quote warns against. The dream you carry inside you, whether it's to build a business, to create art, to love deeply, or to make a difference, is something sacred, and no amount of pain should take that away. Let's make this personal. Think of a time when life knocked you down so hard you wanted to quit. Maybe it was a breakup that shattered your trust, a failure that crushed your confidence, or a betrayal that left you feeling empty. Did you let that pain freeze you, or did you allow it to push you toward growth? Because here's the truth. Pain isn't a signal to stop. It's a signal to transform. Just like broken bones heal stronger, broken hearts can teach you deeper love, and failed dreams can teach you resilience. So, how do we apply this wisdom today? First, guard your dreams fiercely. Don't let people who doubt you convince you to abandon them. Second, use your pain as a teacher. Ask yourself, what is this moment trying to show me? How can this make me stronger? Third, don't let temporary struggles define your permanent story. Remember, every great success carries scars from battles fought in silence. The message is simple, but powerful. Pain is inevitable. But losing your dream is optional. You can let pain make you cold, bitter, and disconnected, or you can let it strengthen your faith in yourself, your vision, and your purpose. Choose the path that keeps your heart alive, because as long as you're dreaming, you're still living, still growing, and still fighting for something greater. You got to keep your head up. Simple words, yet they carry a universe of meaning. Life will try to bend you, break you, and bury you under the weight of pain. People will disappoint you, systems will fail you, and moments will come when you feel like giving up. But in those very moments, this quote becomes a lifeline. Keep your head up. It's not just advice, it's survival. Pain has a way of making us look down. When your heart is broken, your head naturally drops. When life feels heavy, your shoulders slump, and you start carrying the world like a burden you didn't choose. That posture isn't just physical, it's emotional and spiritual. Keeping your head down too long makes you lose sight of the possibilities around you. That's why this wisdom is so powerful. Keeping your head up isn't about pretending you're okay. It's about refusing to let pain take away your dignity, your vision, and your hope. This truth comes from someone who lived in the middle of chaos. Someone who grew up surrounded by poverty, violence, and constant struggle. At times, the world told him to bow his head, to give up, to stay silent, to let life define him. But instead, he lifted his chin and looked straight ahead. Even when the pain of betrayal, loss, and injustice came, he turned those words into songs, poetry, and messages that lifted not just himself, but millions of others. Keeping your head up wasn't just a slogan. It was the only way to survive and keep moving forward. Now think about today's generation. Depression, anxiety, heartbreak, and loneliness are real battles people are fighting in silence every day. You scroll through social media and everyone looks like they're winning while you might feel stuck, broken, or left behind. It's easy to drop your head, to give in to self-doubt, or to close your heart. But here's the truth. Every time you choose to lift your head, even in pain, you reclaim your power. Pain doesn't have to define you. It can shape you into someone stronger. Let me bring it closer. Imagine a young person losing their first love, feeling like the world has ended. In that moment, it's tempting to give up, to close off, to believe love isn't worth it anymore. But keeping your head up means believing that heartbreak isn't the end. It's the beginning of deeper self-love, wisdom, and growth. Or think about someone failing at their dream, maybe an exam, a business, or an opportunity that slipped away. Pain whispers, you're not good enough. But keeping your head up says, I'll try again. I'll learn. I'll rise. This mindset isn't about ignoring pain. It's about transforming pain into perspective. Every scar you carry is proof that you fought battles and survived. Every time you keep your head up, you show the world and yourself that you are unbreakable. That's what strength looks like, not perfection, but resilience. So how do we apply this? First, shift your posture, literally. When you're going through pain, sit up, look forward, and remind yourself that your story isn't over. Second, practice gratitude even in the storm. Look for small reasons to stay hopeful. Third, surround yourself with people and energy that lift you higher instead of dragging you down. Remember this, keeping your head up doesn't mean you'll never fall. It means you refuse to stay down. Pain might visit, but strength stays with those who choose not to let pain turn them cold. You can cry, you can hurt, but don't let your head drop for too long, because the higher you hold it, the clearer you'll see the path that's waiting for you. Reality is wrong. Dreams are for real. This quote isn't just poetic, it's revolutionary. It challenges the way we see pain, the way we view the struggles in our lives, and the way we define what's possible. Pain makes reality feel heavy. It makes the present moment feel unbearable. But in that same breath, this wisdom reminds us that dreams are not illusions. They are the escape, the healing, the roadmap that pain can never erase. Think about it, reality often looks like bills stacking up, broken relationships, lost opportunities, and systems that seem built against you. Reality can tell you, stay where you are, you'll never make it. But dreams, they whisper something different. They tell you, there's more, there's hope. There's a future where this pain becomes your strength. This perspective came from someone who had every reason to believe reality was hopeless. Born into struggle, surrounded by chaos, carrying the weight of betrayal, rejection, and constant pressure. Yet through it all, he held on to his dreams. Dreams of creating music that would live forever. Dreams of lifting people up. Dreams of proving that pain could birth greatness. And he did exactly that. So what does this mean for you? It means that when pain makes reality feel like a prison, you don't have to stay trapped. Your dreams are the key. They are the vision that will guide you through the darkness. Emotional pain can blind you to what's ahead, but your dreams remind you why you started, why you keep going, and why you refuse to let life harden your heart. Imagine someone growing up in an environment where no one believes in them. Maybe their family is broken. Maybe their school system fails them. Maybe their community says, you'll never make it out. Reality looks grim. But inside, if they carry a dream, whether it's to be an artist, a doctor, a teacher, a leader, that dream becomes fuel. It gives them a reason to wake up every morning, even when reality gives them no reason at all. The same goes for love and relationships. Pain can make you bitter. It can convince you to give up on love altogether. But your dream of real love, loyalty, respect, growth in another person, that dream is worth holding on to. Just because reality gave you heartbreak doesn't mean love is a lie. It just means you haven't reached the reality where your dream is waiting to meet you. For today's generation, drowning in distractions, pressures, and silent battles with mental health, this quote is a lifeline. Reality often tells young people, you're not enough. But dreams give them courage. Dreams say, you are more than enough, and you were built to rise above this pain. Here's how to apply it. First, guard your dreams. Don't let pain convince you to lower your vision. Second, write them down, visualize them, remind yourself daily of the life you're building beyond the pain. Third, act on them, step by step, even if it's small. Pain loses its power when you're moving towards something bigger than the hurt. The truth is, pain is temporary, but dreams are eternal. Reality may try to convince you to give up, to become colder, to let bitterness win. But if you dare to dream, really dream, you will find strength even in your darkest nights. Because no matter how wrong reality feels, your dreams can carry you into a stronger, brighter, and more powerful version of yourself. I'm not saying I'm going to change the world, but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world. This quote is raw, fearless, and dripping with truth. It shows us that pain is not meant to shut us down, but to spark something greater, something bigger than ourselves. Too many people let pain turn them into shadows of who they used to be. They close off, become colder, harder, and tell themselves, I'll never care again. But this wisdom reminds us that pain can either bury you or ignite you. The choice is yours. Think about what it means to spark a brain. It means that even if your pain doesn't transform the entire world today, it can inspire someone somewhere to rise higher tomorrow. It means that the lessons you learn through heartbreak, betrayal, loss, or failure are not wasted. They can be fuel not just for your own growth, but for someone else watching you, someone who sees your resilience and says, if they can survive this, so can I. The life behind this quote is proof of it. Here was someone who grew up in pain, poverty, struggle, rejection, and a system designed to break him down. He was misunderstood, targeted, and betrayed by people who claimed to love him. He could have let all that pain harden him. He could have said, forget everyone. I'll move in silence and never trust again. But instead, he turned his pain into poetry, into art, into a spark that still lights up minds decades later. That spark became his legacy. And that's the key for you right now. Pain is part of the human story. Everyone goes through it, but not everyone turns it into purpose. Some people let it eat them alive, while others use it to feed their vision. The difference lies in how you respond. Will you let the heartbreak, the failure, the betrayal make you colder, or will you use it as a spark to light the way? Not just for yourself, but for others. Picture this. You've been betrayed in love. Someone you trusted with everything broke your heart. Pain tempts you to swear off love forever, to build walls so high no one can ever reach you again. But what if instead you chose to grow, to learn what loyalty and real love should look like, to promise yourself that when the right person comes along, you'll love with wisdom, not fear. That choice doesn't just heal you. It sets an example. It sparks others to believe in love again. Or maybe you failed at school, at your career, at your dream project. Reality tells you you're not good enough. Pain whispers, give up. But what if you use that failure as fuel? What if you decide to get back up stronger and smarter? When others see you rise, they're inspired to rise too. Your spark becomes their spark. That's emotional maturity. That's strength. Pain doesn't have to make you bitter. It can make you better. When you choose to turn pain into purpose, you create ripples. You inspire people you'll never even meet. And one of those people might be the one to change everything. So, when life breaks you, don't close your heart. Don't let pain turn you cold. Instead, let it light a fire inside you. Use your story, your scars, your resilience as a spark that could change someone else's life. Because you never know. The strength you build today might be the very light someone else needs to see tomorrow. Conclusion, life has a way of testing us through pain. Through heartbreak, betrayal, loss, and struggle. But everyone carries a choice. Will you let it turn you bitter, or will you let it shape you into something greater? What we've seen through these lessons is clear. Pain is not your enemy. It's your teacher, your sculptor, your spark. It pushes you to grow, to dig deeper, to discover strength you never thought you had. Pain does not mean you should close your heart. It does not mean you should stop loving, stop trusting, or stop dreaming. If anything, pain reminds you of how much you are capable of surviving, and that survival itself is power. You can take betrayal and turn it into wisdom. You can take heartbreak and turn it into compassion. You can take failure and turn it into fuel. The truth is, becoming colder may protect you for a while, but it will also rob you of the very beauty of life, connection, love, growth, and hope. Becoming stronger, on the other hand, will not only heal you, but inspire others who are watching your journey, silently hoping to find their own strength. Remember this, your scars are proof that you lived, that you fought, that you didn't give up. And maybe, just maybe, your story of rising from pain will be the spark that gives someone else permission to rise too. So carry your pain with pride, not as a chain that holds you down, but as a fire that lights your path forward. Because pain was never meant to make you colder. It was always meant to make you stronger.